They can.
All right, friends, we're live on YouTube. So for our candle lighting this evening, I don't think we have anyone assigned. Would anybody like to come up and light candles? Please.
Having problems.
The Zoom quay cái show
Probably that's
you having problems tonight?
121 in our cedar ring.
I'm gonna shut it if it's
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, when they read by our lives, give light to all. As the brightness reminds of the generation of Israel, a kindled light, so may we in our day kindle light.
Amen. We'll join together for our blessing. So Kabbalat Shabbat, this particular liturgy that we have tacked on to the beginning of our Shabbat services, is to really heighten our experience. We're taught that Shabbat is supposed to be a little glimpse of the world to come, of what it would be like if we lived in a perfect world. And so there's a tradition that the rabbis of Sfat used to actually run into the hills, into the countryside in Israel as the sun was setting to greet Shabbat with these words of Lechadoti, will join together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9 on page 138 in our Sidurim. Page 146, we remain standing if we are able for our Barahu, our calls of prayer. Everyone can be seated. We continue page 148. Our blessings every morning and every evening. We have a blessing about creation and what a miracle it is that One thing we can count on in a world of uncertainty is that every day, every morning, the sun is going to rise. Every evening, it's going to go down, and the moon and the stars are going to come out. No matter what else is going on in our lives, this is a rhythm that anchors us. So we read together in English, page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the season, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Sivaot is your name. Ever living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. We continue, page 150, Ahavat Olam. Page 152, we rise for our Shema. Be seated. Our next liturgical prayer, V'ahavta, and you shall love. So we started with Ahavat Olam, how great God's love is for us. Continuing with the Shema, identifying who is God, God is one. And then we move liturgically to our V'ahavta, where we talk about our love for God. This always in camp settings was called the love sandwich of our prayers. And really love is an ever-present theme in Judaism, in our Siddurim, in our liturgy. And it's all the more so present tonight because just next week, in a few days, we will celebrate the Jewish holiday Tu B'Av, our holiday of love. And so we have a special setting, and thou shalt love for V'ahavta.
And thou shalt love my God, with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might, and with that which I command thee this day shall be sittest in thine arms, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up, and when thou risest up, and thou shalt find them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes, and thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house, and on thy gates, and on thy gates.
Page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot together, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 158, we continue with our Michamocha. Page 161, our Hashkivenu prayer is actually one of the oldest prayers that we have record of having written down in Seder Rav Amram, one of the first Sidorim. And the fact that this prayer can be dated back so long through our history, I think speaks to this yearning and desire for protection and shelter. For as long as the world has existed, there's been darkness, literal and metaphorical. And so when the sun sets, when that darkness comes upon, we pray for shelter, a sukkot shalom, a shelter of peace. And we pray for a metaphorical shelter, a shelter that can spread peace through all of our lives, peace through the lives of everyone we know, everyone we encounter, and really just everyone in our world. And so we'll read together page 161, this prayer for peace and shelter. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and raise us up, O guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel for your name's sake. Be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and our coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai hapores sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Israel ve'al Yerushalayim. Ahad said, more than the Jewish people has kept Shabbat, that Shabbat has kept us, the Jewish people, our Vishamaru, all about keeping Shabbat. Please rise, page 164 for our tefillah.
Open up my lips and my mouth may declare your praise.
Be seated. Page 173. Together, may these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Nikadesh HaShabbat, page 175. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inwards for the answers to our prayers. There we may find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. So we come to our Modim prayer, our prayer of gratitude. There is this idea, hakarat hatov, that by literally calling out the good, that we spread goodness to each other, to our community. And so I want to invite people to share what they are feeling grateful for on this Shabbat. If you are joining us on Zoom, please type in the chat what you're grateful for, and I'll read that out loud. Or you can even unmute, and we should be able to hear you in our sanctuary. And in our sanctuary, I'll just go around. So if we want to start with folks on Zoom, what are you feeling thankful for? Anyone who's unmuted?
Rabbi,
Yeah, Janet.
I'm grateful that Jerry is no longer on his IV and he is well on the road to recovery.
Beautiful. Anybody else on Zoom want to unmute and share something you're feeling grateful for? Teddy.
Okay, hello. I am grateful that, well, tomorrow will be my 39th wedding anniversary, and we're also having a bridal shower for my youngest daughter. So I'm grateful to be around for both of these things.
Beautiful. Mazel tov to you. Anyone else on Zoom? Right, so we'll move to those of us in the room. What are we feeling grateful for this evening?
It stopped raining.
Stop raining. Yes. Please. To be feeling better and to be here. Beautiful.
Summer vacation.
Summer vacation.
It's nice to be back with people, right?
Back with people. Oh my gosh, the beauty in that, Sarah. Back in our sanctuary. I'm waiting for our new stained glass windows. Yes, they're really beautiful.
I'm grateful that we're all here, and I'm grateful that we have Michael Tornick back with us.
Yes, grateful that we're all here, and we have Michael Tornick, our accompanist, who will also be joining us for our high holidays. So joyful and grateful for that music. Apples. Friends, family, amen.
I'm grateful for the vaccine that allows us to be here.
Yes, grateful for vaccines that allow us to be here.
I'm grateful that Misty, your lawyer, decided to see me about our people.
All right, beautiful. And I'm going to go and
That's very good.
amazing, and I'm going to check our chat to see. So other folks on Zoom are grateful. Roseanne to walk in the woods with friends. Patricia grateful to be here with the service on Zoom. Deanna's grateful that your blood pressure went down enough so they let you go home. We are so grateful for health. And so we say, Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'lecha na'eh lehodot. For all of these blessings, we are so grateful. We continue on page 178. We're also grateful for peace in whatever forms we experience it, always praying to bring more peace. Shalom Rav.
Tov
we take time for our own silent prayer using the words of our hearts or the words of our Siddur for inspiration, and we'll join together with Yehiyu Ratzon on page 180. This time we turn our thoughts to those in need of healing, healing of mind, healing of body, healing of spirit. I'm going to share our Misha Beirach list for the evening. So today we are thinking of those in our Bashert community in need of healing, and I invite folks on Zoom to type any other names into our chat. I'll read those aloud. I'll start reading our list and then also go around our room. So this evening we are praying for healing for Jesse Sakharov, Ira Wise, Elaine Drucker, Allison Plummer, Hattie Ann Cabarro, Ellen Bolofsky, Rabbi Dara Lerner, Susan Sisler, Alan Freemer, George Landberg, Susan Bilecki, Dana Haitkin Nelson, Arlene Rosenthal, Michael Luck, Randall Rose, Barbara Weiner, Andy Glansman, Amy Juskowitz Soonseller, Ira and Deanna Roth, Roz Borenstein, Dolores Weinberger, Ingrid Grosso, Audrey Cohen, Eddie DeAngelis, Ira Goldman, Vicky Lightnicker, Sarah Brooks Kamen, Nettie Trommer, Mia Gannon, Jeff Abel, Roz Solomon, Linda Kushner Silverman, Monica Beyer, Patty and Erwin Cohen, Judge Milton Platt, Thea Platt-Glasser, Sandra and Jay Pastor, Michael Pastor, Laura Stanley, Roberta Hireth, Elaine Sarfati, Richard Zagam, Suzanne, David Mouser, Hannah Paynes, Stuart Armstrong, Margot Zitton, Cindy Retagliata, Gary Papierman, Elliot Drucker, Ted and Albert Galerntner, Rosa Gordon, Sarah Braver, Claire Semmel, James Scarpula, Norman Seinberg. For those joining on Zoom, Jeffrey Jaffe, Alana Aram, Chanel Kamabach, Jimmy Jenkins, Joanna Marie, Therese O'Sullivan, Louisa Espute, Abraham Kalaisi, the people of St. Vincent, women in Jamaica, Guyana, Barbados, Israel, and India, Jody Siegelstein, Lauren and Ian, Susan Sisler, Jerry Jaffe, Sal Camiso, Ron Creaky, Laura Creaky, Susan and Tony B, Zizi Potsdam, Brenda Kittrosser, Brenda McBasey, Eve Hyman, Art Torres and the Torres family, Pat Perry and Rita Kravitz, Bill McShane, Alid and Pat Colella, Harvey Barkin, and Delphine Wolf. And for those joining in our community,
Lorraine Sarah, Eric and Monique Giselle, and Carolyn. Winner, Leo.
Yvette, go for it.
The same name, Monty, Anna Miriam, Lutz, Mendel.
For all of those in need of healing, we pray, Yishuberach, joining together.
And let us say, Amen. Bless those indeed of healing with renewal of body, renewal of spirit, and let us say,
Amen. Amen. So we are in a Shabbat this week, distinguished for many reasons. First of all, Shabbat is always distinguished from the rest of the week. The word holy in and of itself means set apart. And yes, we know, as we said when we first entered this sanctuary, and that so many people shared in the Modim prayer, this Shabbat is so special because we are in a week of multi-access services, with some of us being back in person in our beautiful sanctuary, also able to join with everybody on Zoom. And we're also in another Shabbat. This Shabbat this week is Shabbat Nagamu, or the Shabbat of Consolation, so named for our Haftarah portion this week, coming from Isaiah 40. So last week, the Jewish community experienced Tisha B'Av, our holiday commemorating the destruction of the temple. And we move from Tisha B'Av into this period of comfort and consolation. Our Torah portion this week, or our Haftarah portion, Shabbat Nagamu, it actually starts us off for 7 weeks of consolation leading up to Rosh Hashanah. I think that Judaism provides us some brilliant coping techniques. Whenever we have something that brings sadness and tragedy, we're always met by consolation and comfort. So following Tisha B'Av, we'll always have Shabbat Nagamu, a Shabbat of consolation. If we think about it, other examples, Yom HaZikaron, our holiday of mourning in Israel, is followed directly by Yom HaAtzmaut, a holiday of celebration. Our Kaddish prayer, our prayer for mourning, doesn't actually say anything about death, and in fact says positive words. We're not supposed to ever end a Torah portion on a negative note. The rabbis teach that we must always find the nechemta, something positive, something consoling, so that we're never left in that sour note. And so I think the fact that we are back together for our multi-access services on Shabbat Nagamu, we didn't plan it, but how auspicious that one of these moments where we're able to be in our sanctuary is exactly something that is consoling us, that is giving us comfort. We're back in our comfort zone. For so long, for 1.5 years, we have been out of our normal spaces. We haven't gathered with one another together. And so today, this brings just a little bit of added comfort back to us. So I want to go ahead and pose a question, and this is for everyone. What is something that is bringing you comfort right now? Or if maybe you need a little bit of comfort in your life, what would be comforting for you? So I want to let you just think about this. There will be time to share answers if you're on Zoom and want to go ahead and type into the chat either what is bringing you comfort right now, or what is a source of comfort that you're yearning for. These opening words of our Haftarah portion, Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami, Yomar Elohechem, comfort, comfort my people, says your God. So I want us to really look at these words this evening. And we're going to start with a melody. I'll sing the words in Hebrew, Nachamu, from our Haftarah. And then we'll sing the words, comfort us, comfort us. And together we are going to compose a prayer of comfort just for us, just for our community this evening. Comfort us, comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we struggle to take care of one another. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we struggle with this world. Can we try singing just comfort us, comfort us? Comfort us, comfort us. Comfort us, comfort us. What are some ways that you are seeking or receiving comfort today? Anyone want to start us off? A beer, refreshments, nourishments. Oh, you're here. Both are good.
I like your better.
Being here, all right. Being here. Oh, comfort us in our wilderness. Can we try that? Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we take joy in being here. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us, let's see. We're saying all of us being united in person and in spirit, sharing the joy of liturgy, Shabbat, and Noni's amazing voice. So we're gonna summarize that with as we gather and sing together. Ready? Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we gather and sing together. Comfort us in our wilderness. What else do we need comfort for? Or are we feeling comfort? Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us nature. So comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we see, hear the sounds of other people dealing with the wilderness outside. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we hear the sweet sounds of nature. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we struggle with this world. What else do we need comfort? Yeah. Gardening. All right. Gardening. Anything else that's a short one? Comforting us in our gardens and making sacrifices. Let's try that. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us in our gardens and when we make sacrifices. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we struggle to take care of one another. Nagamu, Ami Omar Elohim. Nagamu, Ami Omar Elohim. All right. So people are comforted by services. People are comforted going to sleep at night, cooking at home, Yvette. All right. The arts, yeah. The arts, family, and friends. Let's bring that together. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us through the arts, through family and friends. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we go to sleep at night. Broadway is coming back. Comfort us as we get back together in person. Let's try that. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we get back to being in person. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we come back in person. Anything else? Yeah. Comfort us, our sons, the next generation. Comfort us as we acknowledge the next generation. Can we do it? Can we bring all of our voices? Folks on Zoom, are you singing? We can see you. We can see your mouths moving. Folks in the room, let's try to make our voices loud enough to make up for all of the people on Zoom who are muted. All right, so as we celebrate the next generation, ready? Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we celebrate through the next generation. How about as we sing and feel the nachas? Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we sing and feel the nachas being together. Anything else? Any new voices that we haven't heard? Yeah. Long walks. Anything else we need to include? Long walks. Comfort us as we move our bodies. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we move our bodies. Nagamu, Ami everyone who
I miss getting the priestly blessing.
getting the priestly benediction. Amazing. So I am thankful and I'm comforted by our willingness to be back together and experiment and play a little bit together, building this prayer of Nachamu, of comfort for us in our communities. There are so many ways that we find comfort in our lives. And in a year of discomfort, we're taught Nachamu, that we need to be comforted. But this verse isn't just help us be comfortable. We're actually telling God, comfort us. Comfort us, everyone around us. We look, one of the ways that we find comfort from antiquity until today, from our prophets to now, is through looking to the divine, through coming together in prayer, through coming together as sacred community. And so, as our world opens up, we know that there are still precautions. We still have to be safe. We're grateful for the ability to get this far. And in these next 7 weeks of consolation, they are going to bring us into the holy days, where once again we'll be together in our sanctuary with our beautiful music. And so I want to offer a prayer by liturgist Alden Soloway, and he took different excerpts from all of the 7 weeks, the 7 Haftarot of consolation, and I want to offer this as a prayer for our community, building on what we know has the ability to comfort us, the blessings that we shared with one another. These tears are too close to my eyes, ready to burst forth from the sorrow that surrounds us. These tears are too close to my heart, ready to burst forth from the pain that surrounds us. These tears are too close to my soul, ready to burst forth from the heartbreak that surrounds us. Comfort, oh comfort my people, says your God, for God will comfort Zion. Nachamu, nachamu, ami yomar Elohechem. Well of compassion, comfort of generations. Let us cry together for all that has been lost, for all that might have been. Isaiah taught, it is I who comforts you, and great shall be your children's peace. We are yearning, still yearning, for solace and consolation. Yearning, still yearning with hope and faith. Yearning, still yearning, for healing to flow more freely than these ripened tears. Isaiah says, arise, shine, for your light has dawned. For mountains may move and hills be shaken, but my kindness shall not be removed from you. And the angel of God delivered them. In love and mercy, God redeemed them. May we each find comfort out of the tears that have flowed. May we find a wellspring of hope. Out of the pain, may we find relief. Out of the cracks and the brokenness, may we find shlemut, wholeness, completion, as our community begins to weave literally back together, being together in person. And may we all, in our own ways, find the comfort that we need and share that comfort to others. Amen. We continue on page 586. Take ours. I invite you to please rise for Aleinu L'Shabeach. This time we turn our thoughts to those who are no longer with us, loved ones whom we've lost at this time in seasons past, who we've lost in the last 30 days, a period of Shloshim, and who we've lost in the last week, a period of Shiva. I'll share our congregational yard site list on the screen. This evening, we are acknowledging and remembering those in our congregation who we've lost in recent times. Suzanne Leknos, Shirley Kofker, Lillian Ridley, Thomas Marinin, Meg Goldate, Marguerite Romeo, John Young, Isadora Frost, Fred Perlman, Bob Ira Kleinberg, Dorothea Shoring, Peter Brandenberger, Lloyd Ricketts, Ellie Heimlich, Sherry Burns, Terry Singer, Henry Kuhn, Lily Zimmett, Bob Perlman, Ira Berkowitz, Bayumi Muhammad, Amy Zisovic, Mary Holland, Dorothy Webster, Robert Allen Santos Sr., Robert Bonenfant, Barry Strumpf, Judy Epstein, Dorothy Mason, Judy Panzer, Barry Wine, Charlotte Brown, David Schachter, Douglas Maines, Deborah Lewis, Tahia Sapir, Jane Evans, Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sachs, Manny Pastor, Ruth Rubin, Harris Reese, Emerson Berger, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Caroline McNamara, Marion McGivney, Ronnie Turek, Jay Roseman, Michaela Schaefer, Helen Zagerman Schwimmer. Invite those who are joining us on Zoom to type any names you are remembering in our chat, and those in our congregation to rise if you have a name to share. And we also are acknowledging that tonight is the yard sites of Leon Kosman, father-in-law of Deborah Kosman, Michael Kriegler, father of Emma Rose Tubbleman, Albert Levinson, grandfather of Jeffrey Leverson, Brittany Kadri, sister-in-law of Lauren Levinson, Michaela Schaefer, wife of Henry Schaefer, and Morris Silverman, father of Sam Silverman. Is there any names to share?
Alexander Musa. They promised just died last October at the website of her mother, Erev Shabbat.
And for those on Zoom, lovingly remembering Gloria Zeman, Frederick Grant, Teddy's father, who passed away 19 years ago today. Is there anyone else on Zoom who would like to share a name and unmute? I'll invite us, if it is your custom, to rise as we join together for a Kaddish Yatom. Page 598 in our Sidurim. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Belma tibarach Yerutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon u'yomechon u'chayei t'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman karib imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yinaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudshah b'reichu. Le'elam yimchol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechmata. Dam yiran v'yalma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen.
Shalom.
It is now a great pleasure to invite up our president, Adrian, is this your second week of being president?
I think so.
Second presidential announcement.
Yes.
A beautiful thing.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom to everyone here and everyone not here, but really here anyway. This is my first time giving announcements not in my pajamas. So this is really an exciting evening. This is great. I want to thank Rabbi Pinsky for leading this fantastic service, our cantorial soloist, Noni Schuster Donato, our accompanist, Michael Tornick. Michael, welcome back again. Thank you to Helene Smith for doing the blessings for us. And thank you to the one who makes our voices amplified, but I mean Michael Rose.
Oh, thank you.
Tomorrow morning, 9:45, we have the Yachad on Zoom, and Rabbi Pinsky, you're leading the Yachad. Wonderful. You will see the link for that in the What's Happening in your email, and the Yachad is followed by Shabbat services at 11 o'clock. Tuesday, Torah study, again, Rabbi Pinsky, 1 o'clock on Tuesday. And the Zoom link will be sent out shortly before the Torah study. That night, 7 o'clock Tuesday, special meeting of the congregation. So please, if you can sign into Zoom, please do that, because we need a quorum in order to vote. So if you absolutely can't be there, do the absentee ballot, but that doesn't count toward the quorum. So if at all you can sign in, please do. It'll be brief, but your presence there is extremely important. And I think that's it for the week. We will resume on Zoom, not here, on Zoom, there, a week from tonight. So have a good week, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Phyllis.
A week from tomorrow.
Oh. That's important to note. Yes. Oh, exciting. Wonderful.
Saturday, July 31st at 11 a.m. is our next multi-access service. Mike Rose.
Just a reminder on behalf of Pam Glansman, who is not here, you still can order honey for the holidays. It makes an amazing gift. Sarah West ordered honey for like everyone she ever met, apparently. It's fantastic. Honey.thesheriff.org. You can order, you do have to pay shipping now because it's past the early bird deadline, but it's delicious honey. It makes a great gift. Please check it out.
If anyone joining us online did not hear that, Honey from the Heart fundraiser still happening. Order your honey. Honey for your honeys. And I'm going to take a moment, if I can, Adrian, your first Shabbat giving announcements on the Bima is very auspicious. So just a little blessing. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless you in this new journey in your presidency, and may there be many, many more weeks of announcements in person from this Bima. Say amen.
Yeah.
74 out of 75 tickets sold. Pray for no rain.
Yeah.
All right. So for our closing song this evening, we'll turn to page 625 if you are looking at a Siddur, and I'm going to go ahead and get our words.
The melody that they call French, the parted, I don't know.
Shabbat Shalom. Such a big thank you to everyone helping to lead and run our services and everyone who has joined us. And we will now join together for a gorgeous challah. Is this a Shoshi original? A Shoshi Hoover original challah. Shabbat Shalom will invite you to come get some pre-sliced challah, and there should be hand sanitizer hanging out nearby before you get your challah. My deepest apologies to those on Zoom who cannot eat this challah, but thank you for joining us. Shabbat Shalom.